And we are live, recording-wise at least. I am Cory, JaGGoN Marko. This is Tony Compton.
Welcome to the Dodcast. What episode is this? I believe
18.
18 overall, but we're calling
Yeah.
it Season 3, Episode 3, if you will. Let's not focus on what season's what. Let's just keep trucking ahead. Pretty nice day out here in OKC, where I'm broadcasting from. Probably pretty cold for you, Cory, up in the Northeast.
-11. It is.
Holy
-11.
shit, that's freezing. Well, definitely a good day to stay inside and play some DoD. Do a
Right.
Dodcast.
Exactly. We really did pick the perfect day, because I'm not going out that door. Not today.
I will say we're going to try and keep this one under an hour. I mean, it's not going to be under an hour. Let's just rip that Band-Aid off, but we're going to try. And if you made it through all the last one, you're just a legend.
True.
And I really applaud you. I was thinking if we did another long one, I was going to start reading off Steam codes for Steam bucks, but then I was like, Corey should be writing those down on the side and fucking
for sure.
redeeming those for Quake bucks as soon as he
guaranteed.
Get you a new Nick skin.
I'm gonna get all the bucks that got put out there.
Can you give someone Quake bucks?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it.
I'd love to buy Jules a nice clutch skin,
That would be nice.
But anyways, I digress. But yeah, we're talking DoD. We got a couple stuff we want to get into right out the gate, some hot topics, if you will, and we're gonna start off talking about Moss.
Yeah, got a new rule. Well, it's an old rule being reinforced.
Fuck the old rule. We got the new rule, and really the new rule just says that. And correct me if I'm wrong here, Cory. We will be turning in Moss all season.
Yes, Moss. So whatever the rules that there were for the first 2 weeks of regular season and preseason, they are continuing. It's been decided that this is easy enough. Everything wasn't extra time consuming. And this way, everyone's Moss will be submitted all the time. If you fuck up, it's going to be bad because it's basically tantamount to forgetting all your screenshots and demos and everything. So record your Moss. Don't forget. Turn it in to your guy on your team, whoever it may be. And yeah, it's required.
Yeah, they did extend that turn-in window to a full 24 hours, and before it was like an hour. They wanted you to turn it in as soon as the match was over, which I figured that would be easiest as well. But some people, the match is over and they're out of there.
Yeah,
and you don't hear from them for 3 days. So
I guess there was a couple teams that were doing that where if they didn't get it in immediately, it was like we might not get it for a couple days. So now having that extra full 24 hours, I think, will make it easier for everyone.
Yep, and I think this is also just going to help with disputes and stuff. Just have everything already at their fingertips. I think that AC team is really liking the data they're seeing back, and it's helped them comparing players to one another, finding discrepancies in the madness, if you will. And as we know, there's been a few programs that have been singled out by Moss.
Perfect segue.
And are now kind of a hot topic, because even today, as we've had a post from the admins go out today from our great AC Lead 9, who, let everyone know that there's a couple programs that have been kicked around and picked up by Moss that might be questionable in DoD. And so that's a no-no.
And I didn't see the list. I just remembered Roxel off that list. Was there more listed there?
Roxel was the main one, but there was a little, remember auto hotkey Lua,
auto hotkey,
as well as any type of Lua script on your mouse. So basically anything that can affect recoil, that can affect mouse movement by acceleration or by auto pulling down, those things are obviously illegal. And I know when it comes to, there's been a lot of kickback with Roxel since that's left to right movement.
Right.
And all I'll say, I've never used it. I don't really know anything about it. Today's the first day I ever heard about it, so I'm sure it's fine in CS or whatever. But when it comes to DoD, it's just such an old game with no AC that we're really relying on that AC team as a whole. And before we had Moss, all we had was screenshots and demos, which is, as you can imagine, impossible to police the game.
Yeah.
So Moss has been a huge tool in upgrading the AC. And because the game is so old, and yes, it may not even affect recoil, side-to-side enhancement, if you will.
I think you can do both the X and Y axis, is what they were saying with Roxel.
Yeah, and obviously if you can do like that, then there's potential for something fishy to happen. But
Right.
it just comes back to like you just have to play this game as vanilla as possible because we're trying to get it back to a level, even playing field. Basically, if you're playing on LAN, that's how every game should be played. Is if you're going to be sitting down on a LAN computer, and the only thing you can change is like a few config settings.
Exactly. Yeah.
And maybe like some gamma on
and
via
pitch and yaw
video
are
card.
outlawed, which are basically just the same thing as what we're describing right now. So being able to do it, somebody made a good compare. I mean, it's maybe not a perfect analogy, but the defense of using that was, well, if you can do M pitch and M yaw in the game, then you should be able to use it. Even if it's with a third-party program, and their response was, well, in CSGO, X-Ray is a part of the game, so should you be able to use that too, even if it's with a third-party program?
Exactly. I mean, the logic goes both ways there, but it's again, it just comes back to like, I think of it as you want to be as close to LAN as possible.
Yeah. And if you need mouse excel, you can still get it. Like, there is a setting in the game that turns on or off mouse excel. You don't need a third
just
party
click that.
Yeah.
Or you could find Windows XP and install that on a rig.
Yeah.
And get CPL mouse fix.
Oh.
And go back to those glory days.
I think.
Well, that does, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have that option.
Right.
If you want to go back to XP. I don't even, So, anyways, long story short, just as always, you should just reach out to an AC admin, and especially 9 or Talks.
Issues.
DM Talks with all your issues when it comes to AC. Just be like, hey, is it okay if I use this? It does this. Answer's probably it's not okay, but at least you're checking.
Yeah.
And you're not putting yourself in a position where you've been quote unquote caught. Not that you're going to be banned, but you may start a shitstorm like we kind of had today. Not a shitstorm, but just another post from the admins.
Yeah, it's been
so as always. I just try to reiterate, just hit up the admins. And I'm not an admin, so please don't message me.
Don't message Tony. Probably don't message me either.
And probably don't message JaGGoN because first off, he's not going to respond for 3 days.
Yeah.
And second off, he doesn't know.
I'm not the guy.
He's not that guy. If it's a content question, maybe
now I got you.
Now he's got your back.
We're golden then. I can answer that question. But if it's about whether or not, your recoil scripting, my default stance is going to be if you're doing anything that's manipulating your ability to control recoil short of your DPI and your mouse sensitivity, then you should probably not do it. So I'm fine either way
Changing
on
your
this topic,
res.
but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like the potential is there, and if the potential is there, somebody in the community will abuse it. So it's better to just remove that possibility entirely.
I will say, for the record, I really like the what's that fucking program called? The one that they're talking about,
Roxel?
Yeah, Roxel. If that does only left and right and speeds up, that's actually awesome. And for CS:GO, I can see why that would be so important. And I might install it if it's cool in CS:GO. That's just because if that's allowed, then hell yeah, it sounds awesome. But the argument that it's allowed in CS:GO should be allowed in DoD doesn't. That's not exactly a strong argument because they're completely different games on different engines.
And DoD's recoil system is very unique. Like, think about the other games you play and what controlling recoil is in DoD and how huge an advantage it is.
Recoil is basically what makes DoD like completely different from all other FPSs.
Like,
and when you eliminate recoil, it's just not even a game anymore. Like, I don't know. If you've seen someone no recoiling with a Garand, it's insane. Like, it's a completely different game. They're untouchable. And they can just pre-fire everything.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about anything besides aiming then, because the mouse is just handling everything else for you.
So that's why anytime we see programs that are doing anything with mouse movement, acceleration, like, people are going to freak out. So that's why I just kind of say check with the admins.
Exactly. Better safe than sorry.
And let them kick it around amongst themselves, and then maybe, come back to you privately and maybe even find an alternative.
Yeah, you never know. It can't hurt to ask, and you never know what it might lead to if there's like some sort of a case to be made for something being allowed or not allowed or whatever. That's how all this came up, was somebody asking a question. So take it.
But moving on. That's all I had to say about that, unless you had anything else on that.
No, I'm good. Just guys, learn to control your recoil like this guy right here. 1920 by 1080, 1680 by 1050.
Insane.
Just stand.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't really know.
I need to see. I need you to get a Hitman mouse cam going because I'm gonna need to see these pull downs
I'm down.
sometimes, especially on DoD Bridge.
I'll do that next time.
Your antics on Bridge are well known.
They are. It's really messed up. And then
you're no spriting. You're no recoiling.
I have to stream that just so that Jules doesn't think I'm cheating.
I think Tox was the most triggered by your no sprites.
Oh, what a good match.
You always
getting shot through the sprites.
You just always snipe him coming out. Hey, all right. I could go on DoD Bridge all day.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about your casting schedule coming up.
Yeah. So tonight, we actually have a match between Romario and Washed Up, which is at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's awesome. But this Sunday, it's a little bit less active. I believe it's only like 3 matches because the way the schedule worked out, there's a lot of matches at the same time as ours. Sorry if it sounds like I have a speech impediment, but I have white strips in my mouth. So, yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern is my match, and there's like 4 other matches going on then. So for me, all I'm going to be able to do is we're going to lose versus Nice or TBD or whatever they're called at this point. That's 3, I believe, Eastern. Lads versus No-Go at 6:30 Eastern, and Rat Pack Icy Hot technically at 9:30 Eastern. Hopefully it can get delayed a little bit so our match can be done in time to not miss any of that, but worst case, I'll only miss a couple minutes. I think that's all of it, though. I haven't seen, unless I'm forgetting one match, I think everybody is scheduled, and, I don't see Flossed scheduled yet.
Yeah, they're always the last ones, you know, so.
Unless they have
they'll be an early match if they do play right.
I would think so, yeah. So if they were at, like, 4, I could do that, I think. Something in those lines. There is no one playing at 4, between 4 and 6:30, so there is an opportunity for me to pick one up in there if somebody does schedule. Yeah, Floss has a bye, so.
Oh, yeah, that's why. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's all the matches, I think, that I listed. There's 3 that are at 9, so I can't do any of those.
Yeah.
Yep. Jetty, Fuckboys, I can't do. Insomnia Clinic, I wish I could do, but I can't. And then
putting back up the Tom signal for the Tom Candy cast again for the Thunder T3 match. That was a good cast. Hopefully get you guys back on.
Oh, and that reminds me too, because he was talking about because that's at the same time. So
they play as well.
Yeah, well, he's gonna. I think that he's sitting out his team's match so that Insom can play. He said. Ooh. So he was gonna cast with me if I did the clinic match, but now obviously they're at the same time. So maybe he can cast whatever's possible for that time frame, but I have not verified that.
Yeah, a lot of matches at default this week is gonna fuck that up, I bet.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, well, should be a huge match. It is Solitude, so we'll get into that later, but regardless. Well, that's about it for your schedule, I think. So let's just get right into the recap.
Oh yeah, chemille, baby.
Chemille.
Oh boy, it was a fun one. It's kind of a blur to me, to be honest with you, because I made the mistake of trying to cast every single fucking match, even though most of them.
Hardest working man in DoD.
It was crazy of me because they were like, it would be like 3, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, and so like a lot of the matches were delayed, so I had to leave as soon as possible.
Leave at half or like 12 minutes in, which I know you hate doing, but
I feel bad, like I want to be able to watch the whole match. I hate to miss stuff, and then somebody comes and is like, "Oh, I saw you were casting. Did you see my clip second half?" And I'm like,
You're like, no, I didn't.
It sucks. So I did see almost every match, at least half of it, but that's about all I saw for most of them. There's only, I think, 2 matches I got to do the entirety of, which sucks, but it was a fun week of matches for sure, from what I saw.
Yeah, and let's just get right into it. Let's start with Floss. We're gonna lose, and Floss did end up showing up, which
they did.
Fucked my prediction.
I know, we were dead wrong there, weren't we?
I really didn't think they were gonna make it, and damn, they made it, and then some.
Let's see, and I know that they were missing. I gotta get the screenshots up there.
They had Godfather ringing, it looks like, and I believe King Yo's on their team.
I do believe. Wait, why won't that?
And Chewy, I think, rang.
For some reason, my stupid. There it is. Okay, so yes, Chewy. That's right, and Chewy did insane.
Yeah, on Axis Half, Chewy was going crazy.
Let me see. Where's the screenshots? There it is. Flossed. So.
Yeah, so Floss played Allied first.
Yeah.
Pretty standard
They won by a
strong
lot.
allied half. Yeah, Fincher went crazy with the bar.
Now,
he's having a hell of a season.
I did cast at least half of this match, and for this, you had, like you said, Fincher going off. For We're Gonna Lose, there was a lot of defensive play. Like, they were really trying to not give up the caps. Grim, as you can see, top frag there. Pizza had 17, Softerson 14, Skin Toe back in DOD there with 18. Like, they were just playing a lot of defense. They did a good job of not giving up too many caps, which looked like that might be a good sign heading into the second half. Obviously, 163-20. Not a great half, but still looking pretty good overall. I didn't see the second half, but the second half got way out of hand there, as you can tell. 317-38. Looks like Skin Toe was the top fragger for them that half and went positive, which is very impressive in a half like that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Good performance by Skin Toe, especially against Fincher and Godfather, who are actually a pretty nasty tando to deal with on chemille. You got Fincher just holding down W. You got Fodder filling in the space behind him, and probably sat trips a lot.
King
just
Yo,
a pain in the ass. Yep,
30
King
and
Yo
17
had a
with the car there.
Very nice
and
car half there.
34 and 10 with a sniper rifle.
Yeah, they said Chewy was going crazy that half.
I was gonna say what a god, but what a goddess. You know, that's a crazy Axis chemille sniper half, no matter how you cut it. 34 and 10. Jesus.
Yeah, pretty damn solid half, and a huge Axis half by Flost as a team.
Yeah,
putting up 317.
that's so much capping.
It's a lot of cap outs, a lot of points scored.
I'm sure Bullet was directing traffic and, you know, trying to get everybody into position to cap out as much as possible. They just had a ridiculous team effort, obviously with some ringers, but team effort no less. And on the We're Gonna Lose side of things, I mean, they're just getting back into the competitive side of DOD. I don't think you can really judge the team based off of this map and this matchup. They're only just back. Like, that was the last team to form for the season. You know, Grim and Softerson, it got a pub up that everybody's in now too, so they're getting a lot of hours in and trying to get back to their prime time DOD skill level. Skin Toe was a good player. Like, these are all players that have been around for a long time.
Yeah,
once they get it back, they're going to be good.
I like their pub. I would make a simple request that they get rid of the "Hi everybody" every time someone joins. God, you hear that when you hear that 20 times after like 5 minutes, you just want to kill yourself. And it's just like a little much. But
I forgot about that.
I love the pub. It was really fun fucking around in there after Sick got banned from ME 109.
Yeah, we were all in there that one day, weren't we?
Like, yeah, we were. We were all in there fucking around. So it was fun. I agree with you. Said We're Gonna Lose is gonna have some growing pains as they, get the feel for competitive back. But they did fine. I mean, it's easy to go like 8-30 on Solitude, and especially when teams are flying at you like they were on Floss. Yeah. So solid showing, but We're Gonna Lose. I think they're gonna be stronger by the end of the season.
I agree. I think that they're going to be just fine. Just the activity level will continue to be there, and they'll get everything back under control for sure.
Maybe they'll find a nice gold sandbagger to come down. Join them. Maybe Debo will end up in bronze at his current trajectory.
There's a lot of players out there, and that's a team of really, really good people. So they will have no problem just getting along with anybody who is willing to come play with them. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and that final score was Floss 480 over We're Gonna Lose 558.
Yeah.
So let's keep trucking here. Let's go to Nice Washed Up. This was our match of the week.
It was.
Bronze this week.
And another one that I did not get to see all of because there was a little bit of a delay at the start, and then there was another match to cast not very long after, and so I had to leave. I think it was like with 8 minutes left in the second half. Again, for Nice, you had the dynamic duo of Die Life and Stealth just dropping the bombs, as always.
As expected.
First and second top fragging. Lynx, who continues to get better and better, a guy who was a invite-level player in the past, and I think that he will get back to that point for sure.
And I think if I remember in this match, Laura lagged out.
Yes.
Booten came in,
thinking
it was a 12-man.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Actually joined a team.
Did. And moved around, like actually started to go take map control, and I'm like, oh, what's happening here?
So really awkward moment there, but eventually he got out, and I believe Dark Knight came in.
It was Red Dog.
Red Dog, that's right. So Yeah, wrong team completely there. So Red Dog came in. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I think he finished out the half, and then Laura came back for the second half, if I recall correctly.
Things were interesting there for a minute on that nice Allied half when that happened, because Washed Up got pushed pretty far in off that.
Yeah. It looked like they were going to maybe bring this thing back around.
Yeah, I thought they were going to get one more cap, and then they were only going to be down maybe like a cap and a half at that point. So, yeah, but unfortunately did not pan out that way.
Unfortunately
and Nice
for them,
continued their onslaught of bronze.
They are the bronze studs right now, dude.
Yeah, Stealth and Die Life and Lynx seem to be a great core. Twist had a really nice match as well.
Look at Stamp and Twist there as a heavy
Stamp
team.
as well, yeah.
That's
like I said, those two are figuring it out. They're going to be tough to deal with.
Yep, and that's really like, when the case was being made for why they aren't a silver team that week that I said that they were definitely a silver team, it was like, well, we have Twist and Stamp as our heavies. We're not. That's what Twist and Stamp said in particular, but they had a really good match here. I mean, regardless, they went negative on Axis side Chemille heavying. That's generally what happens.
That's just what heavy and Axis Chemille is.
It shows on their allied side going 23 and 16 or 15 and 20 and 15. Like, that's a really good allied half. Same thing on the other side, too, though. Like, Cody, ProStar had himself a good allied half going underpass. Dark Knight had a great allied half. Wow.
Yeah, he did.
Defrag as well. Defrag back in the fold, baby.
Bromley had a nice Axis half. They're putting halves together. They just got to put a whole match together. That's kind of been their problem this whole season.
They had a pickup, too, of Sexual Mayo, a guy I won a DOD LAN with this week.
Pretty good pickup.
Right? If he's getting it back together and he's going to be semi-active, that will be a huge pickup to help even the tables with Nice, whatever they're called now. They changed their name again, and I forgot what it was already, but I'll remember.
Okay, let's see. Is it listed?
I think so. I think it's listed in the... Actually, maybe not. Maybe it's not listed on the match page yet, but they did officially change it, so whenever they play their next match, it will be different.
Well, we'll look forward to that, see what it is.
But yeah, Washed Up, just, there's a couple class changes, like War Within going from heavy to sniper. He did look very good on Axis side of that match. I remember him having some clips. Obviously, ProStar getting back to playing regularly. Defrag now being back is a huge linchpin for them. And if Sexual Mayo starts playing regularly, that's huge. If they could use Insane more often, that would be so huge for them. Because he's ridiculous.
They've got a lot of potential big hitters on the bench, so we'll see what they do.
That's going to be the key.
But yeah, that final score was Nice, a.k.a. TBD, 323, Washed Up 186.
Oh, yeah. The favorites keep on favoriting.
And that actually will end up with Flost and Nice tied for first, with Flost actually in first due to point differential.
Interesting.
Very wild standings right now.
Flost. You love to see it.
And yeah, Washed Up is going to be... Still waiting on that Washed Up Flost match. Not sure if that's going to be made up or what's going on there.
Yet.
Yeah, so that'll be important for the standings. If Flost wins that, yeah, I don't know. This is going to get interesting.
Right, dude. Seriously.
Yeah, heading into week 4, especially because Flost is on bye this week.
Do they play each other in week 4?
Week 4 is Flost Nice.
Yep, there it is.
So that could be 2 3-0s going at each other.
Ooh,
Most likely will be.
I'm excited to see that. Let's go.
All right, well, that's bronze. Let's keep on moving to silver.
What do we have?
And
first?
Let's start with Lads on Tour and Fook Boys.
So, yes, this was another one that I got to see a little bit of. Obviously, you can see the score, which I cannot click on. There it is, 387 to 53 for Lads. Don't be fooled by that, though. For Fuck Boys, they were missing Gull, who is the big boy on that team, and their new pickup, Mr. Debo.
Yeah, I see playing in Thunder, New York. You're not going to get him. Was unfortunate not to see Gall. This is actually a huge map of his.
Yeah.
I do remember him constantly dropping bombs on this map, so would have been a huge rifle to have, and that's clearly where they were lacking, because the rifles for Lads went crazy.
Oh, yeah. Just looking at Timo and Cage and Louis, like, they all had good games across the board there. God, Cage had a really good game. Both
Cage played really well.
Oof. Louis with almost a 30, Milo with almost a 30, Timo with 31, just a beast. Did we
Yeah,
say
he
who
just
the
ran around fragging
MVP
everyone.
was in bronze, by the way?
Oh, we did not. Fincher was who we had as MVP in bronze.
That's right. Fincher for that big game where he had like, what was it, 57, I think, kills, if I recall
Yes, I
correctly.
believe so. Did are the stats done this week? Did Louis pick
Yeah.
MVPs? I didn't even check.
Let's see. There it is, bronze MVP. Fincher, it doesn't say the number of frags there, unfortunately.
Oh, that's
17
nice. Louis and
flags.
I picked the same MVPs. Love to see it.
Yeah, perfectly done. But yeah, where is it? Where can I see the actual score so that for posterity's sake here, bronze, gold, silver, bronze, chemille, there it is. Give me Fincher. 57. Oh, yeah, dead on.
Yeah, 1.5 KD, pretty damn solid.
That is Studley right there by Fincher.
Heavy
Well
and
done.
underpass. Yeah, that's also pretty big score by Chewy.
Oof. 53 and 25 as a sniper. I might have picked Chu as the MVP there just because of
Yeah,
the
I went with
sniper.
Fincher because he was really impactful both halves.
True.
She was also impactful both halves. Well, obviously that Axis half was huge,
Right,
going
yeah.
30 whatever and like 10. But
More
yeah,
heavily weighted.
I just thought Fincher was overall a little more impactful. But
And as a
could have went.
heavy, tend
Yeah,
to
as
be
a
more
heavy doing it.
impactful.
Yeah.
Very,
Although
very
sniping
good point.
Chemille is no easy feat, so
Right, true. I think that's still
it could have
probably the
gone
heavy is going to have more overall say in what happens on that map, just like from a cap out standpoint.
for sure. And yeah, back to this match
Yeah.
though. Just a little outmatched for fuckboys without
Yeah.
Gall and Debo, so kind
Can't
of to be
blame them.
expected here. Can't blame them at all. It was a toughie.
If they had those two guys, I think it's a completely different match. I still would have probably favored lads on tour, but I think you're looking at like a very, very close match with Gall and Debo both there.
Yeah, and Reptar still played pretty well, all things considered,
Yeah.
and same with Big Bird. I mean, that's just a lot of firepower coming at you in factory, so
Much.
just gonna be a rough time.
That's gonna be like I wouldn't even want to play against this team with Thunder. Like I feel like that factory team and then Milo, that would be a lot to deal with on for anybody. So nothing to hang your head about there.
No, definitely not. Pretty solid showing altogether, I would say. It was a tough one, but Chemille's a weird map, so I wouldn't look too much into this loss if I'm fuckboys.
Get ready for next week and get Debo there. I know Gall should be there, I hope. Just get them both there, and fuckboys will be a serious problem for everybody in silver.
Yeah, and that's the final score was fuckboys 53, lads on tour 387.
Big W for lads.
All right, let's just keep moving on here. Let's go Insomniac versus Jetty.
Oh yeah, this was a tough one for Jetty. To give the rundown of the story, 305, 166 in favor of Insomnia. Jetty looked great to start off their allied side. I would go so far as to wager that they were probably in control of factory and underpass flags for like upwards of 15, 16 minutes out of that half. They just could not get a full cap. They were holding. And then bad time to get all team wiped. They give up a cap out without like any tick points going off. So they're losing, but it's only by like 5 points after that. And then same thing again. They're holding everything. They can't get a cap out. Not enough aggression. And then team wipe. Illusion went on a crazy run at the Allied first. Eventually, Insomnia caps out again. You can see the result of that there, 122 to 67 in a half that I would say Jetty controlled for about 80% of it. Rough.
Yeah, that's backbreaking on your allied half to control the map that long and lose the half by a cap.
So
it's
hard.
Very hard to come back from. And like you said, they did a really great job of getting pressure through underpass and into puddle. They were jumping quads, doing great. Steve was hitting nuts shots for like the first 5 minutes, just jumping quads, hitting no scopes, falling back, getting another kill. Just really good play. And yeah, then that's just how fast Chemille can swap on you if you're not ready. Like you try and go for that cap out, you push with four, all four of you die. They flood the map, and like the other two guys are just on islands, both ends of the map. It's really easy to trade those kills, and then you're down 3 flags to 1. And yeah, you're trying to do the allied thing where you're getting back into factory and they have all the angles. It's a pain in the ass.
It's near impossible.
So that happens. Sean gets hot. Yeah, you saw what happened. They capped out real quick on the first half. So Jetty's obviously still getting it together, and they're still kind of figuring out how each other plays. They're still trying to figure out exactly what roles they're going to be playing. So
Oh yeah. I
this
mean,
was kind of going to be a tough match for them no matter what.
they clearly have a very strong main four in Riv and Modgers on the heavy, Steve on the sniper or rifle, and John on another rifle. You know, Ian has been trying to figure out a computer situation because he is playing on a laptop with like no with speakers, no headset and stuff. Like just filling out those last two spots with guys who can do the job with some consistency will be all it takes. You know, they use Kiwi this week, who is Frank Kalise's brother. He had not played DoD until this past week and looked pretty good considering that. Frank Kalise looked like he's improving. You know, it's going to take him a little bit to get back into the swing of things.
Frank
but
Kalise looked just damn fine in my opinion. Yeah. Both halves played really well. And on Axis, Jetty played pretty well overall.
Yeah, just Sean dropped bombs on him.
Yeah,
Sean
he just got a little too hot. Yeah. And it's like you said, on Allies, they outfragged him by, almost 20, but just couldn't get those cap outs.
Yeah.
And if they get those two cap outs, it's, a much closer game.
Very different story. It's like basically what we predicted the game would have been score-wise. Like,
yeah, then Insomnia's, on their backs going into Allies where they have to cap. You can kind of play a little more passive and puddle and make them push into you. Which can ultimately turn around. Yeah, exactly. Which can just turn around to you counter pushing them. So just ended up getting in a position where they had to push on Axis, which is always just a
shit show. Yeah.
But yeah, Riv played really well. He's definitely getting back into the swing of things.
And he's got a new computer now, so watch out, everybody in silver, because he was playing on a laptop before.
He's about to be zooming through these maps.
Serious problem.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Frank Kalise and his brother, they had a great Axis half. Not a great, but they definitely held their own.
Did their job.
Once they get to putting both halves together, they're going to be fine.
Yeah, and obviously for Insomnia, they continue to look good. They are one of the favorites in silver. Those two rifles are just ridiculous, Sean and Illusion. The heavy team with 9 and Gandhi, like you have a solid mixture of the playstyles there. Hip as a sniper seems to be his natural class, and Head Like a Hole, always been a good third rifle role player. So they're built to win.
Definitely. And like you said, that rifle core is pretty insane. Probably the best rifle tandem in silver, maybe.
For sure.
I mean, it depends if Insom shows up for Clinic.
Right, yeah.
That might be the one set that I would take over them. But right now, it's Sean, Illusion, and H-Law by a mile. I guess H-Law's third a little this week. I've seen him heavy some.
Right, he's been
9 and Gandhi probably heavy, though, yeah, mostly. Yeah, and hip sniping. He's probably having a good time with that, finally getting to snipe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like this team. I think, like you said, they're one of the two favorites in silver. This Insom Clinic matchup this coming up week is going to be wild. Obviously, match of the week. So we're looking forward to that. And yeah, that final score was Jetty 166, Insom 305.
Yeah.
And let's keep moving to the match of the week this week.
Oh, yeah.
Which was Clinic No-Go.
Clinic and No-Go.
Oh, it's pretty close, all things considered. Well, not that close, but it wasn't a huge blowout.
It wasn't, like
it was 288 to 155.
Very close.
Kind of what we expected overall, I would say. Maybe thought No-Go would keep it a little closer, but
I think so.
This Clinic team is just, I mean, God, look at Carp. How many weeks are we going to have to talk about him?
I won't stop until everybody's saying it aloud in all the Discords. Carpenter is one of the best.
Just a good time to go and throw out that he is my silver MVP this week.
He was the Put Your Best Foot Forward award winner yet again. 31 and 15 on Axis.
Just dominating both halves. Insane KDs.
60 kills as a sniper on chemille is unreal.
I saw him on Axis picking up a lot of different weapons too. He was not just doing sitting back Carp. He was grabbing a car and pushing. I was liking that. That was what they needed.
Movie streaks nonstop.
Yeah, and that's the thing about chemille is, especially sniping allies, you kind of want to go get that car and do that. You don't, sometimes you're just sitting there staring at quads all day, and you could get a car and be pushing up getting some kills. So that's what he was doing.
He was fragging hard,
and I liked it.
Insom had a tough allied side in his return, but looked great on Axis.
Yeah, Insom's back. His movement looked good. He was getting around the map a lot. He just wasn't getting those shots. They weren't hitting. Probably because he was playing in a Seattle server.
Yeah.
And I'm just now seeing this was in a Seattle server, very wild time. Candyman 9 ping, I bet he loved that.
Oh, yeah. He even got to car.
I'd see why. He's at 9 ping, give it to him.
Tom, though, with the Stas, actually second top frags that half, tied with Insom there.
Yeah.
You know, the heavies did their job. Like, Axis side, you expect to go negative. Allied side,
especially against Spoon and Allen.
That's a hell of a heavy team.
Those are some tough bars to deal with, and Spoon was making things happen second half.
Always does. He is, you know, for good reason, considered to be one of the best heavies in Silver, if not the best. He continues to prove why. 30-17 on the bar there. Allen next in line. Recoil, who continues to be one of the most consistent snipers in Silver. Just a little bit too much for them to overcome the power of Clinic. Cory with a good car half there. 20, is that 6 or 8? I can't tell, but
I believe it's 26.
And then Recoil next in line behind him.
Felt like he was getting a lot of double kill nades, like, constantly.
And Dedro, actually.
Yeah, Dedro had a solid Axis half, carring.
You know, the heavies, obviously, Axis side, you're going to have trouble no matter who you are and who you're playing against. But, yeah, just tough matchup for no-go. I think, if not for Carpenter being just clicking on all cylinders, the guy is ridiculous. Tom, actually, I think, ends up second top fragger overall there. 2 really good halves, getting to be a rifle again, not having to heavy like he did before.
Yeah, big match by Tom, for sure.
53 overall for him.
A lot of caps, too, running around, grabbing those flags.
And, like, getting 50 on chemille overall is like getting 60 on any other map, realistically. So, like, you know, even though it doesn't say he does not like 30 and 20 both halves, he might as well have been, while Carp basically was 40 kills both halves. That's the way the frag totals have always worked on chemille. Like, you can look at the old top fraggers and some frag of the weeks on chemille, and you'd see, like, number 1 would be 58. You know, you didn't see too many 60 kill games overall, so really good job there by both Tom and Carpenter, especially putting his best foot forward.
I think I would have liked to seen Spoon stossing this map.
That wouldn't have been a bad idea to try to open things up a little more.
Just to give a little more firepower underpass. Clearly, they struggled immensely on Axis half.
Yeah. That extra nade might have gone a long way, too.
If you end up with Bill, Allen, and Spoon is just trying to brute force it, because that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
And we know how strong those triple windows are and those off angles at underpass. It's like almost impossible to get through without multiple people and a few lives thrown away for the cause. So, yeah, I would have done that. I would have swapped that up a little bit. But other than that, I mean, they were pretty outmatched across the map on allies especially. So
Clinic's just a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, it was a tough sell no matter which way you slice it.
They are the guys in Silver, period. Until somebody can beat them, until they have even a loss on one map. Like, they remain the favorites. Everybody else is fighting for second place. Even last season with the Price is Right being the favorites, they did lose a couple maps to Love Me Not over the course of the season. So, like, it was up in the air. They weren't a surefire, you know, gonna win this thing. But right now, Clinic is as close to a sure thing as it gets in this game.
Yeah, they are the favorites in Silver along with Insom. And like we said, this week we'll be somewhat telling it's Solitude. We probably won't get that good of a look at the two of them in a heads up, but still, it'll be fun.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, that final score the one last time was Clinic 288, no-go 155.
Big W there for Clinic.
Again, Carpenter, grats on MVP, continuing his demolition of Silver. Trying to get Silver MVP of the season at this rate.
Yeah, and he's looking good for it right now. My God.
Yeah, so keep fragging Carp, keep fragging Tom and boys. Candy, 9 ping, love to see it. Insom, good to see you back. And Stark held his own. Yeah, both these teams, love them both. Good luck to both you guys going forward. And that will finish Silver.
Oh, yeah.
And we will get right into Gold. And I'm not going to spend much time on T3 Why So Serious. We briefly touched on it last week.
Yeah.
Final score, 679 to 150.
There's the screenshots. Till and No Name, it looks like, on the T3 side there. No Name again on the other side with Taylor next up in line. I mean, obviously, there was a lot of stuff going on here. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, a game was played.
Yeah.
And there was a winner and several losers. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And we'll move on. So next matchup was Thunder versus Rat Pack.
Where is that?
And I believe you played in that.
I did. I was in this match. 457 to 127. Thunder versus over Rat Pack.
And you guys played Axis first, right? Or did you play Allies first?
Yes, we did play Axis first.
Okay, starting on Axis, obviously Tox cheating again. Yeah. Nice to see him back.
Of course.
Ryan Emo, monster Axis half.
Wow. Yeah, he
really showing Jules how to do it.
Right? How the fuck do you go positive on Axis side chemille heavying? I don't really know.
I love that guy. He's bitching about chemille all week, going negative, and then he does this on Axis half in the match. Just classic Ryan Emo. Of course, Grant was throwing for him, so that helps.
Naturally. As we predicted.
He was flying around underpass, a lot of pressure, really throwing him back, slowing him down. He had so many double kills from table, like looking down that tight little narrow left peak angle and just spamming through the wall corner and getting 2 kills. Like, who does that? God, it pissed me off. And Joel's just standing behind him, just kind of looking at him. Like this isn't how this is supposed to go.
Yeah, usually I'm the one doing that.
Obviously, you had some insane no scopes this half.
I did. I had a kind of a vintage me on chemille game. I honestly, I should go count, but I'm pretty sure that I didn't have more than 3 or 4 scope kills in all.
I wouldn't be surprised. And they were watching you a lot in the cast, so we got to see some really good ones, especially when you were in bunker, kind of peeking back into stack and just snapping up and down. You kept looking lower. They'd peek up, or you'd hit the snapshot. You'd come out, look upper, and he's lower, and you'd snap him again. It was wild. It was vintage JaGGoN.
I couldn't get scope kills like that. I don't mind Dallas. I think Icy Hot and Insomnia have better Dallas servers than this one, though. This one feels
like the KTP
shit.
Dallas. Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you there.
Yeah, just doesn't.
I like the Icy Hot one. I think it's a good Dallas server for sure.
I do not mind playing on the Insomnia or the Icy Out ones, but that KTP Dallas, I was like, oh, fuck. And then sure enough, when I'd scope, it would be like a full second before anything would happen, and it's just... So I was like, I'm going to no-scope. It's fine. CK had a huge triple nade, too, by the way. I don't know if you guys caught
CK had a lot of nades, just throwing his body for the double kill, triple kill nades.
Yeah.
But he was getting
CK fashion.
Yeah, classic big CK map. We knew the nade kills were going to be there.
Yeah.
PB obviously had his hands full, but he still played pretty PBS, getting some crazy one-taps.
Very reliable with that.
Did Devin heavy
in
this match? Okay,
Devin had the lone positive score over there, too, as you can expect, because he is a very good player, you know?
And this is definitely not a Devin map, so I'm not surprised that he's not putting bombs up on this map. This map just slows down everyone.
Yeah.
And you really see it in the people that are super aggro, like Devin and Joel's even, who's not necessarily super aggro, but he does push quite a bit.
He did make up for that half on Allies with the 20.
For sure. And look, and J-Rod's same. Like, these are aggressive players that struggle on this map. So, and Dorito usually goes off on this map, but unfortunately, Tox was KS, and it looks like a factory.
Yeah,
and you were no scoping everyone. So
it was all Jared. He had that clip where he got to the first flag and decided like he didn't know where to go, so he crouched behind the flame on a tank, and they couldn't tell where he was shooting them from, so they were all just spinning in circles looking for him. It was bizarre. I've never seen that before. That's now the Toxinator spot, officially.
And that's on Allies, right?
On Allies,
yeah. He got out, he kept the first, and went to a spot that he claims he's never seen before.
Right.
We all know he was in their pregame.
We're fucking onto your ass, Jared.
So, no, that spot was insane, and really just got maybe 6 kills from that spot over 2 waves.
It was a lot. If it was at least like 6 kills in that run, if not 6 kills just while he was there, because he didn't have to move. They didn't know where he was shooting from.
And Element's pretty good at this map, as we've seen since Season 1, so he held his own on Axis. Unfortunately, the rest of them really struggled. And,
that's
just what happens on this map. I mean, Thunder has no weaknesses, so it's really annoying to push anywhere because there's going to be a rotator or there's going to be another guy creating that kill.
Backup.
You almost never win the 1v1 without taking some damage, so it just makes the next fight even worse. So yeah, I mean, this was about as we expected. It was going to be a very tough match for Rat Pack, and they honestly they played decent, all things considered.
Really, like, they shouldn't hang their head about this. They're a new team, like, regardless of how often a couple of them play together. They're new. They're figuring it out. chemille is heavily teamwork based, and, like, this was going to be really, really hard to get through no matter what. And they still, I mean, we capped out early and then they capped right back.
Yeah.
And then they were threatening to cap again to the point where I had to like consciously make the decision to be the guy who was not going to let them cap out that way anymore because we were just on our heels immediately.
Yeah, you caught Grant almost capping out
Yeah.
with an insane no scope.
Oh, that was
in the HLTV. I thought you walled him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Because it's just such a bad HLTV and old ass game. But yeah, that was an insane shot. But
that was like because everybody died and I was on upper stack and I was fighting with somebody on the floor and then somebody said you're last alive, so I just sprinted as quickly and as like efficiently as I could. And I just got around the corner from lower wood when Grant was just getting to the like base of the flag, and the no scope, thank God, hit and just barely got him before he capped out. That was a very weird
close
thing.
Yeah, it was. But it was just a good movement by you. Caught him right at that last moment you could catch him.
If I had fucked up the sprint, he definitely would have capped out.
And I also do want to congratulate Toxinator on Gold MVP this week.
There you go. That guy's a real
huge kills,
cheater.
Huge caps, top capped on allies as well, so he's not just baiting his team.
No.
Really just a solid all-around match by the man known as Toxinator.
65 frags and 32 deaths. So over a 2-to-1 with 65 kills on chemille. That's insane.
Where's his Moss file? When are we checking that?
Yeah.
This guy doesn't even practice and he does this.
Moss file's corrupt. Admins are corrupt. Fuckers.
Yeah, make sure we're checking Tox's Moss file.
I want to see that recoil.
I want to see it too.
Full of shit.
All right, well, again, that final score was Thunder 457, Rat Pack 127.
Yep, GG to that team. I still think that they are one of the contenders in gold. I think everyone needs to be on the lookout against them.
And that was the match of the week. I don't know why I did that one before my match.
I forgot about that.
That's because I thought my match was match of the week. But that was last week, so whoops. So congrats on winning match of the week.
But yeah, I think Rat Pack, just like a pickup or two, could very easily jump to that next level where on any given Sunday, on any given map, T3, Thunder, epsiode all need to watch out because there's so much talent on that team just waiting to come all together and mesh and become, you know, that championship caliber team. So I look forward to seeing how they continue to progress.
Same. I think they could be good. They're probably a pickup away, but they're really close.
Yeah. If Debo had stayed on the team and not complained about New York servers, which there's literally a rule preventing what he was complaining about, so I don't know what happened there, but that could have been the pickup right there. They wouldn't have even needed a pick. Or if Colin would play. Colin would be a perfect fit for that lineup, and now he's not even on the roster anymore as of today, so no chance for that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, feelings affect DoD at times.
They do.
We just got to get through it. All right, but that's let's move on to the last match in gold from last week. Icy Hot versus Fart Finder.
This was a close one.
It was way closer than we wanted it to be, but you know that's what happens on chemille sometimes. You just gotta fucking get through it.
Right. This was, the Fart Finder roster didn't end up being what I thought it was going to be.
No, they definitely left some firepower on the bench, thankfully, especially a man named Nightmare.
Yeah, obviously Nightmare being the biggest, most important one to be missing here. Even on chemille, like, he will still put up the numbers. So without him, team is going to struggle a little bit, just missing their sniper, but still good performances all around. SQ had a little bit of a tough one, but Icy Hot, I mean, you guys are ridiculous. Vertex, as always, laying down big numbers. All of you guys just are so consistent. Hildy with a nice bounce back performance there. 26 on allies, 21 on Axis. Good game for a sniper on chemille. Jesse, what a car half there with 31. Vertex 27.
This is Jesse's favorite map, so he loves to rifle it, so he always gets to rifle it. And,
I remember him stossing it for, I think, Skull, I want to say, or maybe it was just
It was last season, I think he stossed it.
He, like, top fragged, I think, in gold, stossing it, so I was expecting him to put up big numbers there. It looks like William even picked up the stoss, so Jesse could have the car.
Sick wanted him to get the car in this match, so he grabbed the stoss and just kind of played that floater role.
That's a team player.
Yeah, just being a team player. He struggled a little Axis half. He's got 79 ping in this New York server, so he could be complaining all day if he wanted to, but he doesn't. And Yeah, I mean, he still did what he needed to do, which was making the calls and rotating, keeping him out of puddle as much as he could.
Oh, yeah. He played the dirty route, underpass. Like, rifling
Definitely, yeah.
underpass is not really fun, on
And
Axis
he
especially.
just enabled his teammates to do what they needed to do, which was letting Vertex and Kanga do their thing.
That's always the biggest thing,
Letting Bees
especially
do
as a
his thing.
third. And you went positive on Axis side of chemille heavying as well.
Yeah, and that was I had to pull up out of a very aggressive nosedive for the first 6 minutes, which is just how I play chemille Axis, is just run out and dive for 5 minutes until I remember that I'm playing DoD. So I got a little hairy. You know, here my role for underpass is this: I'm not proning until you prone me, but once you prone me once, I'm not stopping proning. Yeah, like the floodgates have opened. That's just always been my rule with proning, especially on that map. And Manor decided that we were going to prone pretty early.
Uh-oh.
So it got a little greasy at underpass. And you know, he made the mistake he did at first half. Because then, you know, now I got allies half.
Yeah.
And, you know, I caught him with the ledge once. Stopped the cap out even.
That hurts.
Where they, and they cap out, and this is a completely different game second half there.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it was actually ended up being pretty important, all things considered, because we were struggling quite a bit second half out the gate.
Yeah, it was a slow start for sure. You guys brought it back around, though, and ended up getting the cap outs needed to really put it out of reach there. Sokka had a great Axis half. He was all over the place.
Yeah, Sokka, I mean, that guy's always hitting shots, and I thought Mata sniped pretty well Axis, too.
Yeah, Mata looked good. Manor looked good.
He always made sure no one did too much with Godspawn.
Yeah,
like, he always played connector and just stopped that connector rush, so he got me when I had Godspawn. I was pretty upset, yeah. But then, again, if they had Nightmare and they could shuffle a few things around,
yeah.
It could have been a completely different game, because Nightmare is just someone that doesn't lose factory on Axis side,
right,
without taking 2 people down.
Kum had to heavy again, which I think if Nightmare's there, they probably don't need Kum to heavy. You have Mata heavy, and so then Kum is then in factory with his preferred class. It might be a little bit, you know, I think you guys still win that matchup regardless of lineup, but definitely not their best.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, at this point, he's heavied so much that, like, he's kind of like, he's fine.
He's a heavy at this point.
Like, he pretty much is a heavy. Like, he is a gold heavy. Like, he has that. So, yes, him rifling is better for him overall, but honestly, if he hadn't heavy, they were going to be in even more trouble, because Manor was just, you know, not pushing at all.
Look at that score for him. 22 and 13 with the ball.
Yeah, so pretty solid overall.
But
yeah, it was fun. It was close. You know, I hate those early matches, so, you know, I was bitching, but
of course,
we're pretty happy with the outcome. You know, we'll take the win on Solitude or chemille no matter what. So it's GG's to them. We love those guys, and yeah, like we said, I think if they get Nightmare, they get SC kind of coached up and up to speed, they could be a problem.
I'd be so interested in seeing that lineup, like with all their players being active and scrimming and kind of like playing to their max potential. You could have that's a team that also could beat anybody on any given map with the right 6 put together, all at the top of their game. So they will be, of course, still a team to be looked out for, as always, just because of their frag power. But I think that there is a configuration of that lineup that is a championship caliber team. It's just a matter of getting to that point.
For sure. I'm with you there. And that final score was Icy Hot 186, Fart Hinder 101.
Oh,
and that is our last match on chemille. And now we can move on to the important map, the big map, Solitude.
Ugh.
Who voted for this?
I guess the captains.
Yeah, I'm fine with chemille. I do not like Solitude, but I'm gonna reserve my opinions for now.
I will not. Solitude is poopy, and I don't want it.
It's so bad. Why are we playing it again? And just like Enzio, playing this over Enzio and Harrington is just so disrespectful.
Yeah, that vote. This is the thing. Like sometimes,
that's why we can't vote.
Yeah, like sometimes the vote works out and it's good for everybody, but sometimes you put it up for a vote and something like this happens where you're playing Solitude. And Enzio and Harrington are fucking thrown out the ass.
And the argument is that we want to play new maps. We fucking played this shit last season. Everyone hated it.
Everybody was like, we're never playing Solitude in this league again. This map sucks. Nobody had
I remember
fun.
After our Solitude match, everyone was like, well, at least we never have to play this again.
Yeah, that was the upside. Like, oh, well, at least it's not going to be in the league next season. And then this happens, and here we are. And just to shove it a little further up my colon, I have to play T3 this week, who are just a nightmare on that map.
They have spanked us multiple scrims on that map this week.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. They're so good.
Smoked us. I mean, like, basically where I don't even want, like, who am I? I don't
Every
know.
one of them is just so good at Solitude.
Patton is disgusting. Yeah, we'll get into that. I'm not even going to start talking about them. Let's start with bronze, though. I did not pick matches of the week.
So I'm
now realizing
I'm going with Romario for the and washed up, the one that's tonight,
right?
Yeah, which I will be casting.
Let's start with nice, and we're gonna lose.
That's gonna be it's gonna be a really tough match for we're gonna lose for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nice is the favorite of the division, and they're definitely the favorite here. This is not like a map that has been played to infinity, like an Anzio, a Harrington, a Railroad 2, stuff like that. So we're gonna lose doesn't have that on their side here either. Obviously, everyone's familiar with all these maps, but Solitude a little bit less so than those other ones. I think that they will continue to improve. You know, they have really talented players on that team. Like, seriously, this team, if they can get fully back up to speed, will be very, very good in bronze. And that's going to take time. This is not the week for them, unfortunately.
Not at all.
It's not going to be fun.
Kevin Stealth Gardner map, big time. He's always gone off on this map. He's such a pain in the ass to get out of tower on allies. Axis, he's going to be pushing. He's going to try and get to the first so he can get those sweet kills with the sniper from the long side ramp. Die Life seems like a big Die Life map.
It is.
Just nades galore.
He loves it.
Yeah, it's going to be pain in the ass for we're going to lose. But it's going to be a learning opportunity, and hopefully they don't get too discouraged by being naded to death 30 times.
Right.
Hopefully they know some nades. Remember, you can nade over the jump window to allied spawn and vice versa. Remember, you can nade from hold. Remember, nade double cap the hole. Like, just get a couple nades down. Make sure your rifles know how to throw the nades on axis from sniper window to double cap. That's a really important nade. And yeah, just throw nades. That's my advice. And hopefully you kill someone, because they're going to be flying back at you. But this is just going to be a nice blowout on paper. I'm going to be taken nice by about 400 on this one. I know it seems like a lot, but it's just, I think it's going to be a big blowout. They're running up scores right now.
They are.
They
want those points, man.
They do want those points, and you know, Romario hung with them on in week 1, so they're not as invulnerable as we thought.
No, yeah, they're beatable,
but they are going to be better as the season goes along. So
also true.
Yeah,
Twist and stamp, man. They keep improving.
Exactly. And yeah, so we'll see. It's going to be tough. On the flip side, like you mentioned, Skin and Grim have been playing well. They're getting better. So if they just need maybe two more people to step up on We're Going to Lose, and they can really start putting halves together.
Oh, yeah. And I could see Softer Sin is somebody who, like, you watch old Frag of the Weeks, and she was showing up in them a lot, rifling, you know, getting clips with the Garand and the car. They have plenty of talent on this team. Three-sided quarter was always a really good sniper, and like somebody who was able to thrive in like close range sniper situations, which is not a universal talent. So really, it's just We're Gonna Lose. Just got to keep playing. The leadership in Grim and Softerson is pristine. They'll have the fundamentals down. It's just a matter of getting everyone back up to speed. But this is not the week for it. Nice is going to be getting, you know, whatever points they want if they so choose to keep pushing and capping, because they are a force to be reckoned with on this map, and Stealth in particular and Die Life are going to really put up numbers, I think. I'd say, I mean, saying like 350, 400, I think, yeah. On this map, that can happen. Things can get way out of hand really, really fast because of the nades.
It's just, and it's also just so hard to get points if you don't get mid.
Yeah. If you don't ever get double cap, you're shut out.
It's easy to get. It's so easy to get goose egged on Axis. It's not even funny.
Like, and of course, all it takes is one well placed nade to turn it back around and be able to get that double cap. The problem is getting to that. Like, if they have a good initial and they team wipe you right away, then you're going to be stuck in your spawn until they cap out, and then the same thing can happen again. Like, it's just it's a very slippery slope, avalanche-y kind of map in that regard, where when things go wrong, they tend to keep going wrong. We saw that against Icy Out last season, too.
But we also saw, you know, even after 15, 16 minutes of it going just straight shit south, A couple like you said, a couple well-placed nades, a quick 4K, and you take garden control, and and then you cap out.
Yep.
Like J-Rod just capped out, and then a 10-point match is a 60-point match. It's that quick.
And they show we're gonna lose with Grim and Softerson and Skinto. All show that they do not panic in those like holding situations when they're down to their last flag. They did a really good job on chemille of not just like getting overwhelmed and sort of wilting under the pressure. And I think that will be their path to at least keep this to where like it's not totally out of hand in the first 10 minutes, to where they'll still have a fighting chance. Is those couple players there playing strong defense, keeping everybody composed, working through it to get this flag back, see if we can get a couple multi-kills off, and then trying to take map control back from there. But it's going to be hard. Not impossible, but you got to take TBD, nice, whatever their new name is.
Yeah, whatever their new name is.
Yeah.
So that's both of us rolling with them. And let's just go ahead and jump into the match of the week. Washed Up versus Romario. This should be a bit closer.
Yes. This I expect to be a very good match. I'm not positive on the lineups. It's possible that Bullet, I don't remember if Bullet messaged me the lineup for this week. Let me double check, because I know that he messaged me something. It might have been last week that it was for. Let me see here. No. No, he didn't message to me for this week. Okay, but regardless, I am pretty sure what the lineup will be. Looking at it, where'd it go?
I imagine it'll be similar to what they had last week. Maybe.
Yeah. It's on a Friday, so that means that I think Insane can play. So I'm guessing it'll be Bullet, War Within, ProStar, Insane, Bromley, and Defrag. Maybe Mayo gets in one of those spots if he's going to be
Friday
there.
night might open up some people's schedules, so that'll be interesting to see who shows up for them.
I'm very curious, because we could see Washed Up put their like gamer best 6 out there, which would be bad news for Romario. I don't think by any means it makes it insurmountable. Romario has a very talented team. They kind of have like the best from both sleepers and heavyweights.
Yeah, this is kind of what we've been waiting for, is the Super Brazil team to form.
We wanted this. We wanted this 2 seasons ago when, those teams were kind of like battling with each other back and forth, and they kind of had a little bit of distaste for one another for a minute there, but now they got it. So basically,
I've always wondered how far they could go if PDX joined them.
Right? Oh my God.
I mean, I would hate to bump one of them, because they're like 10 deep.
They are
on that team, and it's really cool. Yeah, you never know who you're gonna see, but like you put PDX on that team, and he starts directing traffic.
Yep.
Like that team's a gold team.
Seriously good. Like that is, they are just missing that one X factor, like game breaker guy.
I think you bring Burn back with that lineup, and then that's an insane team. But anyways, I probably shouldn't be speaking that into existence, because that may end up happening.
It could come, yeah. I'm curious to see who they run out there, because they were missing Vanaki last week, who is historically one of their absolute pillars on this team, always getting 30-something kills. I want to see Vanaki. I want to see Rafinha.
But I want to see Barinia too, so I want that to be the 3 rifles, I think. But LZL is the odd man out there, and I really like LZL.
Right, he's been great too. I think Vanaki has heavied a couple times, so maybe you can have Vanaki being the heavy and have LZL, Barinia, and Rafinha together, and then Man on the sniper.
Yeah, Mandel snipe and Matt'll heavy for sure.
Yeah, Matt with Vanaki. Like that, could be it. I think Lobaton might be playing this week, because I saw him spamming for scrims. So I don't know, it's up in the air.
Well, I think we won't see Burn. I think we've heard he's done for now.
He's done as far as I know, yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but
he's always good for a movie clip on casts, man.
The guy's nuts, no matter what map or route. Yeah, even with the uncertainty around Romario's lineup, I'm going to be taking them in this matchup against Washed Up by about 30 points.
I like it. I do think that Romario is the favorite here. They did just play a really, really good match with Nice. That was closer, I'd say, than the Nice versus Washed Up game. The X factor for me for Washed Up here is that there's the potential that you could see like Insane getting thrown in this lineup. Now Defrag back. Obviously, he was back last week. And a map where like that double cap is kind of a bullet fodder playground. You never know where he's going to pop up. That'll be fun to watch for. But I do
think he's more of a mid-house player.
Is he?
I think. Don't quote me on that.
I mean, that would be, I'd be surprised, but I don't know for sure. I just assumed that he was going double cap and kind of like finding the best spots to prone and really fuck with people. But you could be right. I have no idea. That would be next level, because then, I mean, even if he wants to prone over there, you got a whole church tower to fuck around with.
Yeah. But I just feel like I've always remembered him being in mid house and like grabbing the sniper when he dies and like taking over that. But I could be wrong. He could be a double cap guy. To me, let's say you're right. They get Insane or Mayo or even both. I'm still giving Romario's rifles the edge there.
Oh yeah,
just slightly. So then it comes down to the heavies, like the mid house heavy and like what's going on double cap, and I think I like Washed Up there a little bit.
Yeah.
Because War Within's been heavying really well.
He has.
And
but he's
ProStar
now.
Oh, he's sniping.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, ProStar we saw can get dirty at double cap last season.
He can, yeah.
That's what makes me think Bullet's not going to be there.
That's true.
Because ProStar did that last season. So yeah, it's really close. But I am going to go Romario. I think Washed Up might be able to turn it with their double cap play if they can cap it and just keep him out, because it's going to be hard to get in there if ProStar's doing what he did last season.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest problem.
Which is what you do in a match, you know. I'm not knocking it. I mean, I was doing it in our match. So,
oh yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I am still rolling Romario, but it is going to be close, and that is tonight.
It is,
and you are casting it 9 Eastern.
9 Eastern.
Tune into that 9
Literally
Eastern tonight.
4.5 hours from when we are currently recording this right this second.
Yeah. Bronze match of the week tonight, 9 Eastern, and we are both taking Romario by less than a cap. Is that where we ended up?
Yeah, I'd say I'm gonna guess it's gonna be 12 points.
Okay, you're a little closer than me. I was about 30.
I think it's gonna be maybe even a ninja cap is what takes the lead back from Washed Up.
Yeah, I think Romario would be susceptible to ninjas, so that is a good point.
Especially with Bullet Fodder running that route potentially, going mid-house, he can really work ninjas there. So
he can hide in garden and get behind him and shit. Yeah, I agree.
Problematic. We'll see, though. I think Romario, they're the kind of team that will keep track a little bit better and be communicating. They play together so much. I don't know. We'll worry about that when the cast is on later.
Yeah, we'll see tonight what happens. It'll be a good one, though.
It will be, for sure. That's definitely match of the week.
All right, let's get into silver, and pretty obvious match of the week here, so we'll do that one last. But let's start with Fuckboys Jetty.
Yeah. So, Jetty, obviously, our little buddies. We're besties with Jetty. Even though I lost a land to these guys because we had 2 riggers at that land.
I've lost a land to them as well.
Thanks, Spec Ops.
Fucking Spec Ops.
But, so, tough loss for Jetty last week. They got some growing pains with the roster here, trying to figure out who the exact 6 is. They have a great 4 at very least, and they have like 3 other players that could make up that last 2. Maybe they pick somebody up. Unsure of it at this point. I know they've been scrimming on Solitude, which is a great start for them. And on the other side of things, with Fuckboys, you got Debo and Gall that are going to be huge problems for anybody in any division. They are nuts. You got DB on the sniper on a good sniper map. And then you got the Nicholsons, the Reptars, Big Birds, Hopper. I'm not sure who the 6 will be. Hopper's been looking better and better and better, and he could be a huge X factor here on the heavy. But, you know, it really, with Fuckboys, it comes down to, do they have Gall, first of all? If they're missing Gall, big problem. And then do they have Debo? If they have both, then I think that they could win this match. If they're missing one of them, it's getting closer. And if they're missing both of them, then I'm definitely going Jetty.
Yeah, and Fuckboys is home team, so I think they'll be in a central server.
Okay.
So we could probably pencil in Shitbo and Gall.
Okay.
And yeah, that's a lot of firepower to overcome for Jetty. God, I don't want to.
It's a lot.
I hate to pick against Jetty. It hurts, but
I still think they're going to win.
You think Jetty's got this?
I do. I still think Jetty's going to win this. They have been scrimming, and I think they finally got the TBD nice monkey off their back. I believe they beat them on this. John going, I think he was, I don't even know. I came in so late, but John looked really good score-wise. Steve on the sniper looked really good. You know, Riv I saw in one half of the scrim had like 42 kills. He's got a real computer now, so things are getting real ugly for the rest of Silver, and Matt as well. That heavy team is tough to beat in Silver, and I think that will be a huge difference maker. I think on this map, no matter who their last 2 are, those 4 are enough to get them the win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think even if they get Gall, I'm assuming they're gonna have Gall. They probably won't have Debo, but even with Gall, I like Jetty. It's gonna be so tight. They're gonna really have. It's not really a map a rifle can just go ape shit on, especially on axe. It's a little
Right.
tougher. It's possible, definitely possible, especially if he and Gall I think plays long, if I
I do
remember.
believe, yeah.
So that's definitely a position he can get pushed up and do some damage. And it kind of is that's John Gill's route, I believe. So
I would think so.
that's probably the best one they could send towards him, assuming he plays. So yeah, that might be enough to offset Gall. Gall might be a little more seasoned than John right now, but pretty much a push there in my opinion. So then it's just
Yeah.
going to come down to double cap, and that's like you said, it's going to be a circus. I don't know. I'm going to take Jetty, but I think it's going to be probably under a cap. I'm going to go with another 30-point victory for Jetty
Yeah.
this one.
Sounds about right to me. And I think that Modgers will be the big X factor over at the double cap. I'm not sure. This is me making assumptions. I assume Riv will go mid house as a heavy, so I'm assuming that Matt's going double cap, and I don't know whoever the final two players are in that lineup will go with him. So Matt's gonna have to really be directing traffic there, kind of
Yeah, he
taking the
will.
point.
He's probably going to end up with a Khalees sandwich
You
in a
probably,
double
yeah.
cap, if I was
Maybe
to
Ian
guess.
Galasso gets in there. He's got a
Yeah,
headset now.
or
That's
Saf.
good.
I'm not sure if Saf's where she's been, but she
Saf,
could
yeah.
probably play.
Right? Like there's options, and Matt's going to be the glue that holds that double cap side together. Obviously, on this map, if your mid house side team, especially on allies, if your mid house team is really able to dominate Garden, then your double cap team doesn't even have to do much because you can flank them so easily. So maybe if they have Riv going that way, you got Riv, Steve, and John going mid house side. Maybe they can overcome anything. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how everything works out lineups wise for both teams if they both have their best six and everything. But I gotta go Jetty this time.
Same,
I'm
yeah.
picking Jetty. I picked against them 2 weeks in a row. They lost. We'll see if
It's
I
time
can
to
keep
turn
the
it around.
streak. Yeah, Jetty for
Yeah,
the win by 46.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, let's keep trucking. We got Lads on tour, no go home team.
Ooh,
Probably won't get to play in Seattle this week
yeah.
since it's Lads on tour. They
Got
are a Euro
Euros on
team.
Lads. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be a New York server most likely. Uh,
So
Jay and
Lads.
Revenge Game
I know. Yeah. So this is interesting.
and Louis.
And Lou. You got so K if they're playing the same lineup as last week, Chi, Cage, Milo, Yanni, Louis, and Timo. Now, I've seen Yanni have some really good games sniping this map for one. I've seen Milo go insane on this map going mid house, and I've seen Timo. This is like Timo's signature route, I'd say, is long on
Long,
solitude.
yeah.
That's
Oh, I know.
tough for no go.
That's a full plate for no go for sure. I will say Spoon will go mid house to try to offset Milo.
And he is
Obviously,
very good there too, Spoon.
one of the few silver heavies who can maybe contain him, but
Yep.
you don't really contain Milo.
It's tough.
You just try and not lose full track of him
Right.
and let him get 3 kills on you in a flank. So
don't be frustrated by him, or else
yeah,
you've already lost.
It's going to be really tough for Nogo to keep track of Milo, especially if he's going mid house, and that honestly might just be the X factor in this whole match.
It might be. I think Recoil has the chance, like a combo of Recoil, Spoon, and I'm gonna guess Corey Price ends up as the third guy on that mid house side. I don't know. He's played last week, but he didn't play the 2 prior weeks. We'll see. But I think that's a good team for that side of the map that could match up enough that they can like kind of offset one another enough.
A lot of their firepower, though.
Yeah, it's still a lot. Like Team Owner, I don't think I've ever played against him on this map where he had less than 70 kills. Like overall, he's usually good for a 35.5, and that's near impossible to take away from him with anybody. Playing against us, going against Dorito or Toxinator, still getting 35 kills a half. So he's
and
gonna.
On the flip side, you got Louis, Cage,
Yep.
and I don't know
Chi?
who else. G probably going double cap.
Yeah.
It's also a lot of firepower going double cap.
That's no easy task for Nogo. What do you think then? Like
probably countering with Dro, Allen, and Namas.
Austin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to sneeze at either, but
no, it's a good 3, but
it's gonna be tight. Yeah, it's really gonna come down to probably Dro and Austin hitting some huge nades, and one of them has to know when to help out mid, and like, on Axis when to help Garden, on Allies when to push mid to try to get Garden. And that's a tough role. That's probably the toughest role to play.
It is.
Because you're not really just going down some route trying to clear bodies. You're really playing safety a lot of times.
Yep. You gotta have timing.
I don't know. It's gonna be tough for NoGo. Like, this is gonna be NoGo's still finding themselves. This is a pretty overhauled roster. I know a lot of Price is Right played together and joined NoGo, and obviously NoGo's played together, but NoGo lost like 4 members going into this season.
Yeah. Matthews
2 of
gone.
which are on this team they're about to play. So yeah, it's gonna be tough for NoGo to pull this out in my eyes. And
yeah, I gotta pick Lads.
Yeah, I'm taking Lads probably by 100.
Yeah, I'd say so, 80 to 100. And I'm thinking team owner top frags and all silver.
I don't see Teemo not going crazy this match just because of the route and the people he's going to be seeing.
Yeah.
And if Spoon is even having anything less than 50% win rate against Milo, it's done.
That's gonna be that's
like Teemo's gonna be pushing up too much for anything. Like if Spoon has to worry about Teemo being pushed and Milo, it's over.
It's too many things.
It's way too much going on. Like, and I do like recoil on this map.
Oh yeah,
I think he could offset.
He could
some of what's going on here, but
that could be the X factor for sure. The thing is that now it used to be as a sniper you could do really well to control like the underpass mid-house tower side of things, but now everybody knows exactly where to spam everything and pre-fire.
Everyone pre-nades, it's just really hard
now. Stuck there, right? Like it's a small window and a small tower, and they're both very wallable. So it's like you get hit through the wall in the head and you're dead.
It's easy for Axis to slip in there behind you.
Yep. So many problems.
You've really got to have a guy holding your back, and then you pretty much nailed it there. It's not the sniper dominant map it used to be, just because people have figured it out. So it's really more about the nades and the timings.
Definitely, and I think Lads on Tour. I mean, team owner, one of the 2 best naders. There's a little bit of a debate there between him and CK. CK, I think the way he gets his nade kills is a little bit not helpful for the team. So I would probably prefer to have team owners nades. But I know
CK definitely gets bigger nade kills on the kill feed, but I'm with you there. His sometimes throwing his life away.
To get that triple
for the double kill, triple kill is. I mean, it's debatable. I think they're probably even in my opinion.
Right. To me, it's like if you get a triple kill, but you suicided yourself to get it, then it's really only a double kill, and then it's just a double kill.
Maybe you get that double kill, stand back, and then kill the guy, and it's a triple, you're still alive. I'm with you. Yeah. Efficiency is the name of the game, but not for CK.
If he just did things slightly more in that vein, CK could be such a force to be reckoned with. But he's not gonna. He's so CK. He's got his play style, and we all love him for it. But yeah, Lads on Tour about 80 to 100. NoGo, they can find a way to victory for sure, but it's gonna be very tough.
I'm with you, yeah. So we're in the same boat there. We're both taking Lads. I said 100. What'd you end up with?
I said like 80 to 100.
80 to 100. Okay, yes, about the same ballpark there. And it should be a good match. So you probably will end up casting that one if it's early. I imagine.
I think I'm marked down for that one already. So yeah.
Nice. So we'll look forward to that. All right, but let's get right into the big matchup, the match of the week, maybe the match of the week in all divisions.
I'd say so. Insomniac
Clinic versus Insomniac. Actually, Thunder T3 might be a little bigger.
I think we're gonna get smoked. Honestly,
if it was a different map, I would say Thunder T3 no matter what.
Yeah, but on Solitude,
such a stupid fucking map. Yeah. But anyways, let's focus on Insomniac Clinic here. Both teams undefeated. Both teams clear favorites in the division.
Oh yeah.
Both teams stacked at the rifle position.
Big time.
Yeah, I mean, is this going to be the Insomniac step forward? Like,
that's the thing, right? This is kind of like, this game tells you exactly where Insomnia stands in this division because Clinic is the measuring stick. They are the bar for silver, period.
True. They have gold experience. All their players are solid.
They beat Thunder.
They've beaten Thunder. They're one of the 2 teams to beat Thunder.
Yep.
So pretty impressive there. Yeah, right off the bat, let's just talk about this rifle matchup. And it's Illusion and Sean versus what I'm assuming is going to be Insom Tom?
I think Insom and Candy and Suave.
That sounds better. Tom's sitting out this week,
I think
right?
Tom is sitting out this week.
Okay,
yes.
so Insom, Candy, and Suave. Obviously, Insom got dusted off a little bit last week. He'll probably be a little more polished this week.
Yeah, he looked good on Axis second half, so it
I
seemed like
remember him being good on Solitude too. Didn't mean to cut you off there, but I do remember him dumping on us a few times last season in scrims on Solitude.
He's very good at it.
I'm not for sure on the routes here for anyone, which
me neither.
Shows to our preparation, but
if I had to guess, I would guess they'd send Insom long, and Vic would go mid-house, and then of course Carpenter.
That makes sense to me.
And then the other three going double cap. For Insomnia,
start going double, yeah.
I would guess. I mean, again, I know that Sean used to be a really good long rifle on Solitude, so I think
him and Illusion both played long.
I think so.
That could get a little hairy.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem for them if one of them has to play in an uncomfortable route. I think probably
Sean long, right?
Yeah, that's what I would do. I think Illusion's play style is a little bit better suited to that double cap.
Absolutely agree with that.
So that's, I think, and I think he's a little bit more like gonna throw good nades. Sean is gonna just be like fragging hard. You give him aim duels, he'll win most of them. He'll outshoot people. That's more of a long player kind of a thing, I'd say. But I don't know for sure. It could be the other way around. They could do something crazy and send a heavy along and both rifles double cap. That's idea.
I don't like that. It would be crazy, but I don't think in a good way.
No, in a bad
I think you definitely want Sean long.
Yeah.
You always put your best rifle long, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Just because double cap's a shit show, like there's no point in
throwing You're gonna just die away. So much there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he can't help double cap, obviously, but like, let's not pigeonhole him into that. Right. Especially with a guy that's like averaging 30 kills a half.
He's looked so good. Go watch the old Solitude frag of the weeks. He's got clips in him. He will pre-fire your ass at long everywhere.
So assuming it's him versus Insom,
that's
just probably a wash. That's a huge matchup there. Yeah, I agree with you. Mersan will be the mid-house heavy.
Probably against Tony 9.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, right?
Probably, yeah. I think they'll have to roll 9 through mid-house because H-Law and Gandhi will go double cap with.
And I think that's kind of good. Like, I think that Nick and Mike can have some success playing double cap where, if you get your good nades off and once you've got control of it and you can take aim duels that are very straightforward, like you just out-aim the guy coming around the corner, I think that they will be able to thrive there with Illusion there to kind of back them up. On the other side of things, though, I mean, what are you looking at maybe here? Suave, Candyman, and Stark?
Stark, yeah.
That's tough.
It's very tough. Candy, I think, is going to be a big problem for him. Yeah. And so, yeah, even if you want to call that, if you want to give Insom a favorable push and that, then it comes down to snipers. And we already know where we're going to go with that.
It's Carpenter.
Hypnotic is about to have his hands full.
Yes.
In all the wrong ways.
A lot for anyone to do.
This is a huge carp map.
Yeah.
So, God, I'm giving him MVP next week probably.
He might.
This is where we're going to end up because this could be another easy 30 kills for him both halves.
Yep. And I watched him last season on this map. He was, again, just like dominating even in a match that they were losing, if I recall correctly. Because it was Debo. It was against PMC, and Carpenter was just up their ass. And then Paul went and sniped on the double cap for all of Axis half.
Yeah, we remember that.
Yeah, so I do expect Carp to end up with potentially 75 to 80 kills.
Yeah, I think when you plug everything in like we just did, and then you get to the sniper, and it's that heavily favored for Clinic, that's enough to tip it to Clinic, in my opinion. Yeah. So I will be taking Clinic in this by 60 points. I think it's going to be a little bit of a wake-up call for Insom. I think they're a great team, and I think they're definitely a top 2 team in silver, but this is Clinic. This is Clinic's season to lose right now.
I can't pick against them until they've already lost.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I'm sure they'll drop one somewhere along the way here, but right now I'm not picking against them. No. I'm not going to make that mistake. So, Clinic by, what I say, 80?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think that's about right. I mean, it could get even worse than that, obviously, if things get rolling and if you get a little emo because you're down, it can get worse. I don't think Insomnia will fall into that trap, but yeah, I got to say like 2 caps, and Carpenter will end up getting that Put the Best Foot Forward award again. Sean and Illusion can very well keep this even closer just by pure frag power. And with 9 over there helping out in mid-house, he could keep Mirison held down, but it's not going to be enough. It's just Clinic is Clinic. They're the silver champs.
Yeah, that's all you really got to say about it. Until they've been beaten,
that's all I have to say about that.
I don't think we're picking against them. Yep. So, yep, we're both Clinic, and that is our match of the week. Not sure on the time on that.
9 o'clock Sunday, so I can't cast it.
So no cast for that, unfortunately, but...
Maybe Tom will, because Tom was talking about wanting to cast that match with me, so if he wants to take that one, maybe he can do that one.
Yeah, should be a good one. I think we're also playing default, so I won't be able to watch it either, but...
You're at 9:30.
Yeah. That's right, yeah. And I think we are trying to push that back so you can cast that. But
I'll definitely cast as much of it as I can, even if it stays at 9:30. So.
I haven't heard back on that yet, and I know changing match time on Friday is always fun, so we'll see. But yeah, that's gonna finish up silver for us here, and let's just jump into gold, and we'll get out of here. Hopefully under 2 hours.
It's definitely under 2 hours.
Okay, well that's all that matters. Thunder T3 is your match of the week, so we're gonna hold off on that for now. Let's just jump into Why So Serious Fart Finder. Get this out of the way. Usual questions. Will this be? This is probably the one week they would actually try and have a shot.
They could on this
theoretically.
Map. Yeah.
They do all play this map pretty well.
Yeah.
Assuming it's the same 6, they'll probably have ringers. I mean, they've had ringers all season.
2 last week.
Yeah, and I think Kaboom bowed out, if I'm not mistaken. So Jay Lynch was also looking for a team, maybe. But other than that, yeah, I'm gonna just fart hinder. By 600.
I mean, it's not exactly the same team. It was typical last season, but like Nightmare and Manor and those guys looked really good on it last season. Nightmare, of course, is a nightmare on this map. Kum is good at it. Scotty's really good at it. I just think no matter what, Why So Serious? If they had their exact best 6 and they were going out there and like had been scrimming and everything, then I'm maybe singing a different tune here. Then I think if you had those guys all at their best, I think they could win this. But they have not done that at all. Not even for a second. So
no, I think they're just content to lose out and go on to blaze of glory.
It's unfortunate if some of them look for teams. Like there are teams that could use them.
For sure. And, like I said, I'm not going to spend any time on talking about them or what's going on with that situation. But fart hinder by 1 million. And let's get into Rat Pack Icy Hot.
All right. So this is another, this could have just as easily been the match of the week.
This should be a close one.
Yeah, I'm very interested. Now, here's the thing, though. For Icy Hot, having played against you guys last season, obviously 1 different piece here or whatever, 2 really, which I would say upgrades. So they are a very pain in the ass team to play on Solitude.
Yeah, having played them in that said match.
Yeah.
It was very annoying.
We were this close to losing forever.
It's really easy for Vertex and Sick to get rolling on this map, especially as Axis.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're just like, you're pushed back. You can't get into the tunnel, and it's just a nightmare.
And Mitchell. Bees was
and
all
Bees
over the place.
Is a classic mid-house heavy.
Yep.
Just knows all the tricks, goes underpass, knows what he's doing. Like, really strong player underpass. He's going to have his hands full with Devin, obviously.
That will be a tough matchup.
Big matchup there.
Yeah, that might be the kind of like the crux of the whole map. That duel right there. Or Arachnid versus Hildy. The thing is, like, I'm pretty sure Hildy is really good at this map. I don't think I've sniped against him lately on it, so I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure he is very annoying to play against. I do think that this is now, after a tough sniper map for Arachnid last week, he now gets to do a more straightforward one, and one that he'll be more familiar with from source.
For sure, and this seems like a good Arachnid map just from his play style of getting in different vantage points, holding tight angles, and just repositioning. He's kind of like a budget Patton.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah,
he's very obviously without the pistol bullshit, but
nobody has that.
He does play similar to Patton as far as like relocating and like trying to keep you off guard on his peaks, but not like putting in a position where he'll lose the duel if he misses the shot. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's something Patton does really well.
Able to escape.
Even when you get that cheater peek shot off on him, like he can either still fight you or he can get away before you do anything. Yeah. So it's really annoying to play against snipers like that. And this is a map where you can do that like crazy.
All day.
Just because you can be bouncing around from mid-house, underpass tower, fucking God knows where else. So yeah, we're obviously taking this very serious. Arachnid, we've got a lot of respect for. Devon as well. Their rifles are insane. I mean, they got CK and
Yeah.
PB. Those guys have been rifling together since season 1 and before. Got a lot of chemistry.
Yeah.
Not, obviously we have Vertex, so it is the Pinto Bowl.
It is the Pinto Bowl.
Another Pinto Bowl. I think, and if I'm not mistaken, it's 1-1.
1-1
in the Pinto Bowl. I'm pretty sure. I need to go back and double check that. But
I do believe, because they were talking to me about, after both teams were eliminated from the playoffs, doing a Pinto Bowl cast, and if I would do it, and I said yeah, but then it never came together. So this is it.
This is it.
This is
Big
that
Pinto Bowl.
rubber match for
on the map we all wanted it on, too,
right?
Thank God.
The best map.
The map that matters. A map CK could just chuck nades the whole time.
I would die for this map. It's so good.
Yeah.
They won't be playing against each other on a route, though, because CK will definitely be double cap.
And Vertex will be long. Yeah. So they may encounter each other naturally, but
possibly
it won't be head to head like we'd really.
I'm gonna guess if that happens, it's at Allied first flag, because Vertex has just killed 4.
Yeah, Vertex just ran around somewhere crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're obviously their 6th man is in question right now.
Rat Pack, yes, they may have to use a ringer.
It is sounding I think they asked if they could use a ringer, so I'm not sure where we ended up with that.
Because it's supposed to be 9:30 on a Sunday, so no Secretly, no Raven. It's like 5 a.m. or something their time, 4 a.m.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, because I think Raven and Secretly are both solid 6th in that situation.
Maybe they get Element. That would be a pretty good get for them to throw on the 3rd rifle there with CK and PB.
I believe Element was one of the requested ringers, so he may actually be playing.
Yeah.
And will probably be that other heavy.
Yeah, that's I mean, so you got Devon and G-Code, of course.
Oh no, that's right, Devon and G-Code. So he'll probably 3rd.
Yeah, Element on the 3rd, going double cap.
If he's got the carbine out, I'm tilted.
And he might.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see it, actually. It's kind of a good carbine map.
He might be a Stas carbine, go completely 3rd rifle.
That might be enough to tilt the fan. No, I don't know. It's honestly going to be disgustingly close. I would not be surprised if we lost, and I'm not. I don't think
ICO's going to lose, but I do think it's going to be close.
I think Rat Pack is a piece away, and honestly, like, at any moment they could get going and surprise people. They had a tough match last week on a very tough matchup. Just Thunder on chemille is really annoying. Oh, so I'm not looking too much into that loss. Like, this team's solid. They had a good win week 1 against Farthinder.
Yeah.
And it was a better Farthinder lineup than we saw, so that says a lot right there. It's going to be close.
I think so. I would say it's probably like Icy Hat by, it's always tempting to pick Icy Hat by 9 or less, because that seems to be the way
that's how it ends up. Yeah.
But I don't know that that's going to happen this time. I think this season is going to become more of a 20 or less thing, where it's like you're winning by 20, not single digits, but you're winning by 20 just to make it dramatic for the cast.
Yeah, as long as it's a win, I don't give a shit.
I think it'll be like, depending on how things go, I think the double cap is the really big matchup here. Because Icy Hat's, your team over on long with Vertex and Bees and Hildy is just so good. Going to be handfuls for Devon and Arachnid and PB. Also a good long team, though. So that's a wash. I think the double cap is where the match gets won or lost. My phone just took a shit on me somehow. So I'm going to go with Icy Hat by 19.
Okay, nice, yeah. It should be fun. We'll look forward to it. All right, let's get into the last match of the week.
We're so close.
The gold match of the week, a big rivalry showdown on Day of Defeat Solitude B2, Thunder versus T3.
Fucking Solitude.
What is the overall Thunder T3 record, including playoffs?
Okay, so we won on Armory. They won on Railroad 2.
They won on Railroad 1.
Railroad 1, so that's 2-1 them. Then
Thunder
we
won 2 playoff matches, right?
Yeah, Railroad 2 we won, and Lennon. So yeah, 3-2 us.
Okay, so it's very tight.
And it's going to be 3-3 after this week.
Well, this is obviously, I haven't seen this lineup yet for Thunder. And we know No Name. Are we that crazy about him on this map? I don't think I am.
I haven't played him much. I'm sure
Leo goes long.
Good.
So he's shoehorned into double cap, which feels like where you want him.
Yeah.
Because you might get a rogue nade kill on him.
Yeah.
The problem is PDX is over there with him.
Yes.
Now, here's what I noticed in our scrims. they are very content to just lean on those two and flood mid-house and other parts of the map.
Smart.
So that's something you guys are going to want to watch out for.
That's the smart way to go about it.
Yeah, and PDX can essentially just, he'll play close. No Name will either play long or push, and PDX will just do his thing where he's got the crazy angles on you and you can't peek him.
And he'll have perfect nades every time. So
and so No Name will be aggressive to get the refresh on nades and come back down there and do the same shit. PDX will be the holder, and then they'll be flooding out mid house. They did a lot on Axis, their Axis half. So
because you can't hit them in the open, let alone when there's a fucking 10-foot planter covering 90% of their body.
Exactly, and they know that the way to cap out on Axis isn't to force through tunnels, it's to force through mid house and nade the two from there, nade over jump window, and then pinch on the second flag and start boa constricting you out until you get towards the one, which is exactly how they play it, and they can afford to do that when they can just send No Name PDX one side of the map and they don't have to worry about that. Exactly. So Thunder's going to have some tough decisions to make here. Do you try and play it like we played it last season against Icy Hot, which almost lost us the match?
It did,
but also led to a cap out. So it was good and bad. So
it worked out.
And when it comes to Solitude, I firmly believe that mid house is the key. Like there's really no point throwing bodies at double cap as allies when you don't have garden control and they can free nade you, and you're not going to get the cap. You're never going to get the cap. It's so long of a cap. So yeah, Thunder's Talk's going to abandon double cap to go bell out and try to get garden back probably. So what does that leave? Ryan and J-Rod doing the dirty work there. So yeah, there's gonna be some testing going on of Thunder's patience in a lot of ways. Can J-Rod hold back and not run into PDX like he knows he shouldn't? Can Ryan do the same thing? Can Jules get going in mid house, or is he going to be struggling with HXC and Leo?
Leo is a tough fucking guy on this map.
Leo's annoying as fuck to play against an underpass.
I'd say it's his signature route too.
It is his signature route. He's really back and forth.
Yeah.
He doesn't really push. He doesn't really hold. He does a little of both. Like, he's down to let Patton do what he wants, and then he'll play off that.
And another guy who is really good on this map, and Nick
Insane at this map. So yeah, assuming they have that 6 and Thunder has the 6 they had last week, very, very tight matchup. And it honestly, like, just looking at all the God, and if T3 can get into double cap on Axis, it's going to be very hard for you guys to get it back, especially if Tox isn't clicking.
I think.
Exactly. So that's what's going to come down to on allies, is not losing that and still getting some type of garden control, which you guys are going to obviously struggle with against this team.
Against those players, especially.
And like it's really shaping up for a Thunder loss.
And a bad one, like maybe one of the worst
ones. Because just like they have the ninja factor, they have the PDX effect. And
we haven't hardly been scrimming all
Thunder hasn't been scrimming much this season. Tox is relying fully on Hero Ball showing up night of, which has been working out fine. But, if he does it this week, then crown him. Fuck it. But I'm going to take Thunder.
You shouldn't do that.
I'm going to take Thunder.
And you're banking on the Hero Ball by 10.
I'm taking them by 22 points. Very tight match. Very tight match. I hate to put this on you, but a lot of it's going to come down to you versus Patton.
It is, and I don't like this.
That's not your favorite matchup.
No.
So
Solitude.
Tough night for the JaGGonator.
Maybe I just won't scope. It worked on chemille.
What you got going for you is that Jules lives rent free in HXC's head, so he should be able to win the mental game just by connecting to the server. So that's a plus. He'll probably dominate in mid-house too, so that's also a double plus, especially with the bar. So
if I was T3, I probably would have just sent PDX mid-house because...
Well, I think they would love to do that, but like I said, the fact that he can literally solo double cap when they have it with just No Name flying through is you just don't pass that up. I mean, he's smart enough to play it how it needs to be played, and not everyone will play double cap in that position like that. They'll get anxious or they'll lose patience and try to peek, and they'll just get naded, some stupid nade. And you really got to know the angles and like sound horror, and that's what he does. So he can handle that nonstop. No Name can just fly through his tech and go through there and not have to worry about TK and his teammates.
Easily.
Yeah. So then so to me, I'll take Dorito over Leo just slightly. I'll take Jules over HXC by a mile. I'll take you and Patton, I'll call that a wash.
Yeah, that's a wash.
And then it's like, okay, so what's going on double cap?
Tox
and
versus No Name, Ryan
Tox
versus
No Name,
PDX.
Ryan
That's
versus
quite
PDX,
a heavyweight battle.
J-Rod versus Till. Like,
Till,
we always forget about Till.
Sorry,
He's gonna be
I'm sorry, James. I know every time.
Till's out there. We never talk about him. He's out there.
All into the Leo and the PDX and the No Name and the Patton, and then like we realize we've been talking about T3 for 10 minutes. That's my bad.
No one mentioned James Decker, but the thing about Till is he will hold those pixel peak corner shit, and like you get so used to Leo peeking you and peeking into Leo, and it's almost worth wide peeking them sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you catch them off guard, and you can't pixel peek them because you can't hit them. So you got to wide peek them and like flick on them or something. But with Till, you can't do that too because he's got 10 ping in New York. So he'll just one tap you with a grand or something. So that's where it gets annoying when you're dealing with them in waves.
And lest we forget that if Till is going double cap, like that is an area where getting down and dirty is an advantage. So even if you get by a No Name and a PDX, where is James? Who knows?
So you're going to have to be accountable for Till. We're going to need to see, I think, a big J-Rod week.
Yeah.
To really solidify the Thunder victory here.
And with J-Rod, he's just like one speed. So if it's working, great. If it's not,
if it's working, it's great. If it's not, it's just brutal.
Yeah.
Ryan is also a big factor here. I haven't talked about him. Ryan Emo. He's kind of seeing Solitude for the first time since coming back.
Yeah.
If he can avoid falling into those rage pits of despair that you get into when you play this map, I think it'll be fine because getting pushed up at the bar is always strong. So, if he can get in those positions a few times, if you guys can just not shit the bed, double cap right out the gate, and then like spend 10 minutes trying to get it back, I think Thunder's going to be okay.
I would have loved to have been able to, like I said today, like, hey, can we please scrim today and tomorrow because we really have some stuff to work on. And Ryan's response was, won't be here till the match.
I tried to schedule a scrim with you guys for last night, and Tox just simply said, fuck off, Mom.
What the fuck? I said, I'm going to go take a nap. If we get a scrim, someone text me.
Okay, that's not... I talked to JR about it, but we were going to have to do like a 9 Eastern, and I know that's kind of late for you guys.
I would have been fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, I know you would have.
Maybe not Jared.
Well, Jared would have been gone at 6 because he's out of here at 6 Eastern, going to the fucking pony shows or whatever he goes to, fucking nighttime softball. But no, I think even with the God, now I'm about to switch my fucking prediction.
I know,
you just got me so upset. I'm staying with fucking Thunder. They're winning by whatever I said, 27-13. I don't know, pick a number.
I think it was 27.13.
There you go. That's it. We're gonna add when the config is spitting out decimal numbers. You know that we got the updated config in there. Picks are now 0.5.
Yes.
Okay, but that's it. That'll be a great match. Hopefully someone casts it.
Hopefully.
It's at default at the moment on Sunday night, 9 Eastern.
It would be a shame to have a Thunder T3 match with no casters. So if anybody's interested, and speaking of that, I mean, not that many people make it this far. Thank you to Tom and Candyman and Till and Recoil and Hildebrand and Jesse who did the cast for the Thunder match on Sunday or whatever day that was. Monday.
Hell of a panel. Yeah, that was awesome, guys. Really appreciate it. I don't even think I got to watch all of it, but what I did see was fun.
Yeah, everybody did a good job and kind of filled in with different insights and roles everywhere. It was cool. Like, I like that. It doesn't always have to be just a guy yelling like I do. So I like that version of it too. And it was much appreciated. So.
And as always, thanks for listening. And let us know any feedback, anything you'd like to hear talked about, discussed. Let us know the feedback on the hot topics with the questionable executables going on right now. And as always, thanks for watching KTP.
Have a good night, guys. Be here for the cast at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, 9 p.m. Eastern tonight.
Yeah, Romario versus Washed Up. Bronze match of the week. Sunday. Good luck, everyone. Solitude sucks. Love you guys. KTP. Peace out.
Peace.